This week we learned many things. One of them were customs around the world. Around the world there exist many different traditions regarding the way in which people greet each other. Like for example, in many countries many people give each other a hug to say hello. Others give each other a high five, bump their fists, shake hands, or simply give a wave or simply say hello. We also learn about how to be polite when exchanging business cards, saying that it's more polite to offer them with both hands and receive them carefully as opposed to give them with one hand and receive them carelessly. And finally, we learn how to getting acquainted with someone in English using small talks. The small talks. In English, we have some expressions to talk to familiar people who are not our friends, or when you don't know them very well. Like for example, who are you? Have I ever seen you before? Hey, what's up? It's me again. Call me again. We can go for a walk. Or see you whenever you want. And it's important to be careful to avoid asking about very personal topics or information that can be rude to the other person.
Hi guys! In this part we are going to learn about the grammar of the present perfect. So we used to talk about an indefinite time in the past, and its grammatical structure looks like this. We have a subject plus have or has plus main verb. And remember, have or have isn't a main verb, it is an auxiliary. And for regular verbs, the past participle is the same as simple past, but you have to memorize the irregular verbs. And we have an example. I have spoken English with Zara. And for a negative sentence, we have to use a negative auxiliary, like this. They haven't cooked the dinner. Now it's time to yes and no questions. Here our auxiliary needs to change position. So we have or have, our subject, our main verb in a past participle, and our question mark. And it looks like this. Has it rained today?
Pronunciation. Sound reduction in the present perfect. 1. I haven't been to that class. We omit the sound t. 2. He hasn't met his new teacher. 3. They haven't taken the test. 4. She hasn't heard the news. Vocabulary. Tourist activities around the world. Climb Mount Everest. Go sightseeing in Russia. Go to the top of the Empire State Building. Try Colombian food. Take a tour of the Eiffel Tower. Take pictures of Greece.
Now we have the present perfect. Already, yet, ever, before, and never. We use ever or before in yes no questions about life experiences. For example, have you ever eaten sushi? Has your mom been to Mexico before? We use yet or already in yes no questions about recent experiences. For example, has she finished the homework yet? Have you already been to the top of Santa Ana's volcano? And remember, use already in affirmative statements and use yet in negative statements. In affirmative and negative statements, we have some examples of affirmative statements. I have already been to Guatemala, Costa Rica, and Panama. We have never visited Puerto Rico. She has been to Colombia before. Now we have examples of negative statements. He hasn't had dinner yet. My dad hasn't ever visited New York. He hasn't been to Spain before. Remember, always place before and yet at the end of the statements and questions. And be careful, don't use yet in affirmative statement. Don't use already in negative statements. Don't use ever with yet or already. Now we have the vocabulary. The hand. Number 1, this is thumb. Number 2, this is index finger. Number 3, this is a middle finger. Number 4, this is ring finger, and I have a ring here. Number 5, this is pinky. That's why we say pinky promise. Number 6, this is the palm. And number 7, this is fist.